Hey, Twitter world.
Don't pet the llama.
A pangender octopus who roams the cosmos in search of love.
I'm never going to look at butt plugs the same.
Apparently, ducks are rapists.
I'm really uncomfortable with this conversation.
So on topic of weed, so another part of my work, like what they do is they go out and they'll help with the police with raids on places.
Okay.
And so a couple of our staff had gone out. I think they had gotten like a random tip or something from another business that was in this business park and said, hey, you may want to check out this place that's one of our neighbors.
Okay.
So they went over and they knocked on the door to this supposed place. They told that they had the tip on, and nobody answered. So they're like, oh, okay, but now it's got police out there. You've got these other, employees out there all standing around. It's drawing attention. And I guess some of the neighboring businesses came out and kind of were like, you might want to check over here too. And basically we're ratting out all these people that were illegally setting up these dispensaries in the area. Not grow. Well, no. So
but just dispensaries.
So in the area I work, so I work for a city, but I'm not saying what city I work for. But so the city I work for, in order to have a dispensary, you also have to have a grow operation. You can't just have a dispensary.
It has to be in one place.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it also be. I don't know the particulars on that part of it, but
I might have heard you wrong, but yeah.
So, anyways, it just they ended up sticking their nose, like my coworker stuck his nose in the mail slot of the door. I was like, yep, that's weed in there. And so they just went around to all the businesses and snuck, put their face up in the mail slot. Look, there's weed in here.
Oh wow.
And
what if it was just some dude who was taking his break and he's just all, dude, I need this.
So yeah, I guess because they tried knocking and the people wouldn't answer, and then they smelled weed, that gave the police enough reason to storm the place. Yeah. So they got in and then found out they didn't have a business license, weren't paying for anything, like it was all illegal. So guess what happens? They literally went in and they took every single one of their plants, and they lost all their plants. So my coworker came back to work reeking of pot. Our whole place, the whole city hall just smelled. And
got to do their shirt laundry.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny because I didn't go out in the lobby. One of my coworkers went out, and she's like, "It smells skunky out there." But it was just funny because he was like, "Yeah, I still can't get the weed smell off my watch," and this was like a few days later.
Watch? Oh, probably had a leather band or like something
that absorbed it. But he said like the clothes, like everything he was wearing, but literally they had to just take every single plant and put it in a garbage bag. And then I asked my boss, because she had mentioned it during our meeting, and I'm like, so I'm just curious, like, what actually happens to the plants? Like, what do they do? And she's like, well, there's two different things they normally do, because the city she used to work for, was out in the desert. And she said, well, out there, because it was like in the middle of really nothing, they literally would just light them all on fire. And I'm like, because I was laughing, I was like, well, you can't light them on fire, because that was my natural tendency to light them on fire, then they go away. And she's like, you're just going to get everybody high. And she's like, yeah, so what they actually do out here is they bury them. They go to, there's a landfill area, and they bury them. And I'm like, but to me, that's so weird. I'm like, you're just going to bury the plants? Don't they grow back?
Someone's going to fucking find that shit and be like, oh my God, I found so much weed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a whole process to it, like how they do it. It's not just like, I'm just going to bury it, like dig a hole and put it in there. I don't know. It's just so weird. But it was so funny because the coworker that had gone out to participate in I don't want to call it a race. I think it was just a calm and peaceful, like, oh, they have plants, we have to take them now. So he went out. It was
a raid in the sense of they took their shit, but not in like, guns drawn.
Yeah, so He was so funny. So this coworker doesn't participate in, like, he doesn't smoke cigarettes, he doesn't drink alcohol, like he does not do any of that.
He's really fucking boring then.
And well, yeah, he has his reasons, but so he it was funny hearing him describe the weed. He was like, so this place was high quality. He's like, you went in there and it was just so sticky and so crystallized. And he's like, each bud was like the $50 size. He's like, this was high quality. Yeah. So it was just funny. I was like, okay. And he's like, then we raided a place that was low quality and the plants were all shriveled and no stickiness, no. And so it just made
had
me
a
laugh
stoner boner
hearing
for a second,
him.
and then it went away.
Yeah, but the way he was describing it, I was like, okay. And he's like,
This guy has no-
so I guess, you know, these places come in all over now because it's obviously, you know, legal as long as they follow, you know, whatever the city law is. Mm-hmm. But these places are coming in and they get so much profit. You know, even if they're following the city rules, they're paying for their business license, they're paying for their permits, things like that. To them, that's a drop in the hat.
Yeah.
I mean, these places are coming in and dropping cash, like couple $1 million of cash. Boom, done. Here you go. Here's for my permit or whatever, you know?
A big reason why also they have to do cash is because federally you can't put your money into a bank because if you're one of those businesses.
But for them, it's like no big deal. It's just
like cool.
But what so they raided 2 places that were in the business area, which is where under our city rules you have to apply for a license and have it in a business area like a industrial park. Yeah. But then they found illegal grow houses in actual houses. Ooh. And this is the really weird thing, and I want to look this up. So the reason they were able to find it, not because any neighbors smelt it, nothing looked illegal from the outside. They found it because all of a sudden, neighbors all around this house, their garage doors stopped working, their garage door openers. And so somehow the police found out that there was like a complaint about like all of a sudden like all these houses on this block, but one house couldn't open their, like there was weird stuff going on with signals, electricity and so they found out when you have these grow houses, when they're like generating so much electricity and whatever, the waves get in the way of garage door openers and other kind of electronics. Crazy. So as soon as they raided the place and took everything, everyone's garage door started working again.
That's nuts.
Weird, right?
That's crazy.
So I found out the most interesting things whenever I have I have a Monday meeting at 9 a.m. with my boss and a couple other people, and like I find out interesting stuff. I'm like, that just blew my mind. I was like trying to figure out like, okay, so a grow house is gonna have electricity for a lot of lights.
Oh yeah, lights and...
So how is electricity from lights getting in the way of the transmitter on a garage door opener? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, that's some weird...
But then they said also...
We should have Dan on here and ask him how that would work.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have an explanation. But they were also saying, like Edison is turning these places in, because they're seeing what their electricity bills are.
And like all the power and stuff.
Well, I guess one of the places, their bill for 1 month was $7,000.
Holy fuck.
And so I guess Edison has turned them into the police and said, hey, you may want to go investigate this house. They're pulling a lot of energy.
Yeah. I mean, especially, you know, when they're in energy crisis or something. Always at some point.
Yeah, because I mean, I look at our bill and it tells you like there's 3 tiers, and it kind of tells you like you're within like the tier 1, tier 2, and then tier 3 is like you're using way too much electricity and you're going to be fined or have to pay extra because of being in that tier 3. But to get to tier 3, we'd probably have to leave every single light on in our house 24/7, plug in heaters, plug in fans. Like, I wouldn't even know how to get to that tier 3 because we barely crossed into tier 2, and tier 2 is like this huge I mean, I don't even know what the kilowatts are for
Yeah.
that, but so I'm like, dude, $7,000 a month, and I'm complaining about having an electricity bill for like $75.
Yeah, like, ugh.
I don't
Was
know.
that like a 100%? Oh, that'd be like a crazy percent markup.
1,000.
Yeah.
I don't even know that,
Ugh.
but
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If we float your boat, make sure to subscribe here.
for more awesomeness in your ear holes, click one of these videos here. You just gotta follow the red arrow and poke it. Poke it real good.
You're supposed to poke the video, not me, babe.
I was.